Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Chief William Quigley, last name Quigley. I'm here with Detective Lieutenant Michael Lopes of the Cohasset Police Department. His last name is Lopes. Again, thank you for coming. We're looking for the public's help and the media's help in locating Anna Walshe, Walshe. She's been missing since the first of the year, early morning hours of the first of the year, and we're seeking the public's help in locating her. She was reported missing again on the first, and she's not been heard from. We have detectives working around the clock, Cohasset Police detectives, along with detectives from the Massachusetts State Police, as well as detectives from the towns of Hingham, Hull, Norwell, and Situate. With that, I'll open it up to any questions.
Are there suspicious circumstances here that you're concerned about?
At this point, it's a missing person investigation. We're just trying to locate Anna and get her home safely. Whether, we have nothing to support anything suspicious or criminal.
Who reported her missing, and where was she actually last seen? Inside her home? What was she doing prior to her going missing?
She was last seen at her house in Cohasset on the first of the year in the early morning hours, approximately 4 or 5 a.m. She was reported missing Wednesday. Simultaneously, we received simultaneous reports from her employer in Washington, D.C., as well as her husband, who lives here in Cohasset.
Was she supposed to get on a plane to go to Washington, D.C.? Was that why she would have left the house?
It was reported that she was that she took a ride share from her home in Cohasset to Logan Airport to board a plane to go to Reagan International Airport in D.C.
Do you have any evidence that she actually took that ride share?
We have been in contact with the rideshare companies. We have not been able to confirm that she actually got into a rideshare service. That being said, we know that there's situations where rideshare service, Anna is a person that commutes to D.C., and sometimes the drivers go offline. They don't go through the actual rideshare service. They'll contract with the fare themselves. So we have detectives working on that right now. But at this point, we cannot confirm that she actually got into a rideshare in Cohasset. We can further, we have confirmed with the airlines, and that's been a challenge, that she did not board a plane this week.
I'm sorry, you confirmed that she did not board the plane? Do you know what airline she was supposed to get onto at that?
We have confirmed that. We've confirmed with all airlines. And again, it's been a challenge. It's been widely reported to the media that there's been challenges with travel over the holidays. So there's been a bit of chaos with flights being canceled and flights being rescheduled. So we had some difficulty initially getting that information to a point where it was solid information.
So you're looking for her here, you're not looking for her out in other states, or are you looking for her out beyond Massachusetts?
We're keeping, we're looking everywhere, and again, that's why we're here today, to try to find Anna and bring her home.
Is her husband cooperating with the investigation?
Yeah, her husband has been fully cooperative. Her family has been cooperative. She has family that lives outside the country. She has quite a few friends, both here and in Washington, D.C. They've been fully cooperative in working with detectives, and the company that she works for, their security department, has been very helpful.
Did she take her license, her cell phone, things that she would have normally taken if she was heading to D.C.?
It's reported that she did have her bags with her.
And what about her cell phone? When's the last time anyone was able to deliver a message? When's the last time she received a message?
The cell phone has been off since around the first of the year, and again, that's one of the investigative leads that we're tracking down. But detectives are working the electronic forensics. It's very difficult, as you know, nowadays, not to leave an electronic footprint or some type of footprint, which are debit cards or your credit cards, and none of these things have been active since the first of the year.
What time was she supposed to be taking a flight?
It was reported that she left the house around 4 a.m. and shortly thereafter, I believe 6 a.m.
So someone saw her leaving the house physically?
We have information to that effect.
Video?
No video.
Is there any suspicion that she's in danger at all?
Right now, it's a missing persons investigation, and the focus right now is on, trying to locate her, whether you know, she just needed a little break or a timeout. We're just looking for her, if that's the case, we're just looking for her to call. You know, all it takes is a phone call to let us know that she's okay.
Is there any description of like a car or any, would she just be walking around, like how?
She does have a, she has a vehicle, but she leaves it in DC. She commutes, several times a month to and from DC. They do have a townhouse in DC. The vehicle is usually left there. The vehicle is in DC. We're able to confirm that. We've been working with Washington DC Metro Police. They've searched the townhouse. There's no signs of her there. Right now, the last information we have is that she get into a rideshare vehicle in the early morning hours of the 1st.
Do you know the last person to see her? Was it her husband? Did her husband actually see her leave the house? Who would have been the last person who saw her?
He was sleeping when she left. It was reported as early morning.
How long will this be considered a missing persons case before you decide that she's in danger or something that along those lines?
Well, it's not normal that she's missing, so, you know, we automatically feel that she's in danger by the mere fact that she's missing. You know, other than that, there's no evidence to support anything illegal.
Do you know why it took so long to report her missing?
We're not exactly sure. You know, it seems like it was a situation where, you know, she does work in DC, and it's not abnormal for her to, you know, work long hours and not contact the home right away. So that seems to be the case.
You said she was reported missing Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Do you see any connection between her husband's crimes and this?
Not at this point. There's, you know, seem to be two very separate things, and again, the husband's been very cooperative, but our main focus today is trying to locate Anna, and hopefully we can get a phone call from her or someone that she knows, and that will let us know that she's okay.
What is the legal history that you know of her husband?
We've heard things. We've talked to our federal partners, but one thing does not seem to have anything to do with the other.
Does she have any history of mental illness?
Not that we know of.
Do you know what kind of car the rideshare was that supposedly picked her up?
We can't confirm that a rideshare actually picked her up.
So it was just scheduled to pick her up, or was?
It was
normal?
reported that she was going to be picked up by a rideshare.
Can you say who was the last person to see her if her husband was sleeping? Who actually saw her at 4 or 5 in the morning?
A family member.
Who was at the house?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so they physically saw her at 4 or 5 in the morning on New Year's Day.
That's what's being reported to us.
And was that one of her children, or was there somebody else in the home?
It's a family member.
And you said that his legal history, husband has nothing to do with it. What is that legal history that you've examined and you know wanted?
Again, we're gonna focus on getting Anna home. You know, that his legal history, alleged legal history, I haven't independently confirmed, but the main focus right now is to bring Anna home.
Is there any reason you would believe that she would take off, or that she would want to get away? Because you keep saying you call us if you're out there, but.
You know, life is challenging sometimes. You know, she has 3 small kids, the oldest being 6, the youngest being 2. The holidays, working out of state. You know, sometimes life gets chaotic. So, you know, it may be a case where she just needed a break, and if that's the case, we just need a call from her or someone who has talked to her.
Have you ever found any, like, ring cams or anything in the neighborhood that would show a car? Or?
We're looking at all kinds of electronics and digital evidence. As of right now, that has turned up nothing.
Have you received any tips thus far?
We've received a ton of information from family and friends, and again, detectives from Cohasset Police, detectives assigned from the state police, as well as Hingham, Norwell, Situate, and Hull detectives are running down these leads for us.
But at some point, this is gonna raise a level of further concern for you, that this isn't just a timeout.
We reevaluate this, you know, every 6 hours.
Should the broader community, other than Cohasset, be on the lookout for her, or are you just saying the Cohasset area?
Absolutely, the broader community. You know, she does have ties to DC, you know, and also, you know, she is she's an executive with the company in DC, so she has friends all over the country, so, again, we're asking the public to keep an eye out and hoping for the best.
And is that real estate that she's in?
Yes, property management.
Can you go over the flight? That she was expected to take a flight from Boston?
It was reported that she was trying to catch a flight, early morning hours of the 1st, from Logan to DCA, to Reagan International in DC.
Thank you.
Is there any way to know when that flight was booked? I think it might, kind of questionable that on a holiday, when the Monday is a holiday as well, that she was flying back to work on the Sunday. Is there any way to know when that flight was actually booked?
We cannot confirm an actual flight. Again, there's been some challenges trying to work through the airlines, with the chaos that's been widely reported, over the holidays with certain airlines. So there's been just a ton of, flights canceled and rescheduled, so, all we can report definitely is that she did not board a flight out of Logan Airport.
Are there any plans for searches in Cohasset with any canines or drones?
We've already conducted a search with K-9, our K-9 unit at the house, in adjacent area. We're probably going to revisit that, either today or later this afternoon.
So who actually, told investigators that they thought she was taking a flight, that they thought she was taking a ride share to the flight? Is that her husband?
That came from family members.
Okay, and this is something, that's because this is something that she traditionally does, not because she said to someone she was taking a flight in the morning.
This is not out of the ordinary. She does take flights to DC weekly. She did have a flight booked. There was a flight booked. There was a ticket issued for the 3rd of January. Again, this occurred on the 1st, and we cannot confirm a flight on the 1st, so,
Is that concerning?
we're looking at everything. She was called, it's been reported that she was called to DC to handle some type of, emergency at one of the properties that she manages. That's why she was attempting to go to DC early. She did have a flight booked for the 3rd, but she never got on that flight.
And again, you haven't confirmed that she got on any other flight, so obviously.
It's been confirmed she did not get on any flight
Any flight.
last week.
Right, but her actual ticket was for the 3rd, but presumably she was leaving to go on to an earlier flight.
Correct.
And I assume there's been no credit card activity, bank account activity, anything like that?
We're working with the credit card companies, but at this point, there's been no electronic footprint at all. Okay, thank you.
And 11 days since the mother of 3 was last seen.
I'm a realist, I'm sorry. I was an optimist. Now it looks like we have to take care of the children.
Natasha Skye, founder of Skye International Center based in Newton, says Anna's been a member of the business and social community for the past few years.
Beautiful, inside and out. Like the person that just, you could come in and you're like, you just want to know Anna.
Skye says her organization is now pushing to keep the Walshes' 3 young boys together under the same roof. She says some members of the group and their families are willing to open their doors to them.
They went through enough of drama. They're only small children under 6 years old, so they really have to be together. At least they have what they have is right now each other, and they need a shred of normalcy.
As for the investigation,
Celebrating the new year together.
Brian had cooked an elaborate meal for us, and we hugged and celebrated and toasted and just what you do over New Year's, and there was a lot of looking forward to the new year. Like there was no indication of anything other than celebrating the new year, like problems on hold, whatever life's problems were. But the fact that they hadn't, they had been living in separate homes, she was commuting back and forth, she wasn't seeing the children as often as she would have liked. I mean, she loved everybody. She definitely loved her children dearly. And so it was festive. She was texting with friends, and, you know, she was sitting next to me at the bar stool and at their kitchen. There was absolutely no indication that any modicum of a tragedy of disappearance or anything else could have happened.
Save lives. I'm fundraising for Torch Foundation. Hey guys, I'm on a mission to save lives. I'm fundraising for Torch Foundation, which is an organization that provides teens with weekend workshops, and it empowers responsibility and confidence in them through discovery of their self-worth and through understanding of some of the other limiting beliefs. The program is free of cost to students, and it can certainly change their lives, just like Boston Breakthrough Academy changed mine. It's really provided me with a transformational, emotional intelligence-based leadership training. This is an equivalent for teens as well. Below you can find the link, as well as more information. For a quick donation, I would certainly appreciate it. I declare I will save 6 lives. That is 6 students who get to go. Thank you very much.
Hey y'all, True Crime Sunshine. So the video so far at the Anna Walshe, I just wanted to kind of put together, you know, a few different clips, and I did end up finding a clip of her voice. You know, my OBS, I apologize for it not recording her face, but that can be found on Twitter. But I just kind of wanted to go over what we know so far. So we know that originally in the press conference, husband was cooperating. Husband was asleep. Family members seen her at 4 a.m. She wasn't reported missing until January 4th. She was last seen New Year's, January 1st. She lives in Boston, commutes weekly to Washington, D.C. And originally, the sheriff branded the case as a timeout. Like, you know, I understand that it's legal for adults to go missing, choose to, but this case is another story. So the family said, from what I've heard in my research, that Brian is angry, violent personality, named him a psychopath. There's a DV police report that was made in 2014 where he had threatened to unalive her and a friend of hers. Also, it was taken to court and it was dropped because there was lack of victim cooperation in the case. It's unfortunate, and she was probably too scared to go forward. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you guys an article that I found that kind of breaks down the case, and it tells a little bit about her history, and I feel like it's important to bring Anna's history, or Anna, however it's pronounced. I mean, no disrespect.